She won't come out and say it. She won't make it obvious. But if you know what to look for, you'll spot the signals. She's dropping moves designed to draw your attention without saying a word. In this video, we're diving into 10 flirty moves women use when they want you to notice their body. By the end, you'll have the insider's edge spotting signals. Most men miss entirely, whether it's subtle touches, body angles, or subconscious behaviors. These signs give you a hidden window into her attraction. Pay attention, because once you know, you'll never miss it again. One subtle lip touching or biting. If you think her lightly biting her lip is random, you're dead wrong. This move goes way back, etched into the fabric of attraction itself. Her lips are the focal point, and when she touches them, traces them, bites down softly, it's her body saying something her words aren't. It's primal, deliberate. Without even being conscious, she's drawing attention right where she wants it. Right to her mouth. Picture this. You're mid-conversation, joking lightly about something meaningless. She laughs, lips curling into a smile, and then for just a second, her teeth catch her bottom lip. It's quick, natural, like she's holding something back now. Pair that with lingering eye contact or a slight breath in. Suddenly, you're aware that little movement carries weight, because it's not for everyone. It's for you. And if she touches her lips with a fingertip while listening, you're deep into subconscious territory. She's making her own mouth. Part of the moment, part of your focus. It's no swaying hips accident. 2. Swaying hips while standing still. Here's 1. Most men completely miss. She's not even walking, not even dancing, but her body starts to move. It's subtle, a slow rhythmic sway of the hips, almost as if she's shifting her weight back and forth to stay comfortable. But it's not about comfort biologically. Hip movements tap into something ancient: fertility, femininity, the kind of energy that demands attention even without a single word. And what's fascinating, she's probably not even aware she's doing it. Picture this. She's standing near you at work, at a bar, waiting in line. And instead of being stiff or still, her hips shift in slow, hypnotic motions. There's rhythm to it. Something smooth and deliberate about how her body positions itself. Maybe she's talking to someone else or looking at her phone. But her movement seems designed to make you notice. And if it happens when you enter the scene, that's no coincidence. Add this to her shoulders pulling back slightly, or her posture adjusting mid-movement, and it's like she's setting the stage for you to watch. You don't even have to say anything. She's already stroking arm or neck. Spoken 3. Stroking her own arm or neck. Now, we're in the land of soft touches. This one's sneaky because it looks innocent, like absent-minded behavior, but self-touching, especially the neck, collarbone, or arms, is anything but random. Why? Because those areas are soft, vulnerable, feminine. Now, when she brushes her hand across her arm or lightly touches her neck, she's sending 2 signals. First, she's calming herself because attraction triggers excitement, and second, she's guiding your eyes. Picture her sitting across from you, lightly stroking her forearm as she listens intently. Her fingers linger, trailing up or brushing a bracelet back and forth. It's slow, almost thoughtful, and suddenly you realize you're staring. Or maybe she tilts her head, exposing her neck, and runs her fingertips along her collarbone without thinking. It's soft, simple, but it's designed to pull your attention to those small, vulnerable spaces. And if she combines this with eye contact or smiling, you're in deep. Her body's speaking a language most men don't. Tilt and smile. Here 4. The tilt and smile. Here's a classic move disguised as something innocent. Tilting her head while smiling isn't just friendly. It's a power play, whether she realizes it or not. Here's what happens when a woman tilts her head. She exposes the side of her neck. Evolution tells us that area is vulnerable, soft, and trust-laden. Add a smile to that. It's warmth. It's intrigue. It's an invitation. Now picture this. She's in a group conversation. The jokes are flying, nothing too serious, and then you say something. Her smile widens, her head tilts just slightly to the side. She's leaning in, subtly baring the side of her neck while locking eyes. You might think it's just a habit. It's not. This combination, head tilt, soft smile, and sustained gaze, lights up every signal for interest. It's of playfulness and trust, vulnerability and awareness. Most guys miss it because it's subtle, but the moment you catch her tilting her head, revealing her neck and flashing you that specific smile, you'll eye darting. No 5-eye darting to your chest or hands. Women notice things most men don't. It's in their nature, and when she's checking you out, she's not going to be obvious about it. It's quick, subtle, a fleeting glance that says a lot more than it shows. Here's what happens mid-conversation. Her eyes dart downward. Not an avoidance. No, it's too quick for that. It's a glance. A microsecond where her gaze flicks to your chest, your shoulders, or even your hands resting on a table. Why? Because women evaluate men without even thinking. Strong hands signal capability, a solid chest signals strength. And here's the kicker. She'll look when she thinks you won't notice. Maybe you're gesturing while you speak, and her gaze follows your hands just a little too long. Or maybe you catch her eyes drifting before snapping back to your face. It's not clumsiness, it's curiosity. Her mind's gathering details she's clearly interested in. Add this to a smile or a slight breath in, and there's no mistaking it. You've caught her adjusting or playing with her clothing. Attention. All right, we're just getting warmed up. Those first 5 moves were subtle but powerful. Now let's take it up a notch. The next signal's even more unusual, even more telling. Stay locked in, because these are the ones most men never see coming. Let's dive in. 6. Adjusting or playing with her clothing. Think about it. Why would someone adjust their clothing in the middle of a perfectly fine outfit? It's not discomfort, it's peening. It's a way to make herself look sharper, more put together, and to pull your attention right where she wants it. Here's the move. She tugs at the hem of her skirt, smooths the front of her blouse, or adjusts a strap on her shoulder. It's small, innocent, but watch closely. These gestures are often paired with eye contact, a slight smile or a glance to see if you're watching. Imagine this. She's standing near you at a work event, a bar, or even a coffee shop, and out of nowhere her hands move. She's straightening the edge of her top or brushing her skirt as if it needs fixing, even though it doesn't. Her movements are deliberate, but casual, subtle enough to seem meaningless, but calculated enough to catch your eye. It's a low-key way of saying, "Are you noticing me?" Yet if she keeps doing it, when you're nearby, fidgeting with buttons, adjusting jewelry, brushing invisible lint, it's not an accident. Her body is speaking for her, asking you to look, turning her shoulders toward you, closer. 7. Turning her shoulders toward you while facing away. Here's a sneaky one, so subtle, most guys miss it entirely. She's not even facing you directly, but her body is angled in a way that betrays her. Focus. Here's the science. When someone's interested, their body naturally aligns toward the person holding their attention. Even if her face is turned away, her shoulders will point at you. Picture this. You're at work. She's standing with a group, maybe talking to someone else, but something feels different. Look closely. Her body might be turned slightly away, but her shoulders, her frame are aimed at you. It's subtle, quiet, like a compass needle pointing north, and the dead giveaway. She holds this position for longer than normal. Other people move, shift or break. Focus, but her shoulders stay steady, aligned with you. Even in a crowd, this is the kind of signal you pick up on, only when you know how to see. Leaning in to create physical proximity. 8. Leaning in to create physical proximity. There's something electric about physical space. When a woman leans in, moves closer to you, even just slightly, It's a sign her comfort level is high and her focus is on you. It's instinctual. Proximity is intimacy. And when someone's drawn to you, they naturally close the gap. Here's what happens. You're mid-conversation. She starts off at a normal distance, but slowly you realize she's leaning just a little closer. Maybe it's the way she rests her arm on the table between you, or the way her shoulder angles forward. It's not overt, it's gradual, like her body is being pulled toward yours. This move happens everywhere, sitting across from you at lunch, standing in a group, or even passing you in a hallway. It's a physical invitation, quiet and confident. And if she pairs this with sustained eye contact or a soft smile, that's her saying, "You have my attention, and I'm comfortable here." 9. Exaggerating breathing. Over-exaggerating breathing movements. Here's where things get even more subtle. So subtle, most men never see it coming when a woman feels attracted to someone. Her breathing changes, her body takes deeper breaths, unconsciously amplifying movements in her chest. It's not something she does intentionally, it's biology working quietly in the background. Imagine this. You're talking to her, maybe joking, maybe sharing a story, and somewhere in the middle of it, you notice her shoulders rise and fall. Just slightly more than before. It's subtle, but visible. Her breathing is deeper, slower, and suddenly you realize you're aware of it. What does this mean? Her body is responding to the energy between you. Attraction triggers, small physiological changes, heart rate rises, breathing slows, and those chest movements become more noticeable. Combine that with an open posture, shoulders back, chin lifted, and you have a signal. Most men miss completely. It's her body quietly displaying itself. The subconscious foot point. 10. The subconscious foot point. Here's the last one hidden, but one of the most reliable signals of all: her feet. You might think nobody cares about where someone's feet are pointing, but science says otherwise. Here's why body language experts know that our feet betray us when we're drawn to something or someone. Our feet naturally point in their direction. It's a subconscious pull, like a compass aligning itself to its target picture. You're standing with her in a group setting. Maybe it's casual. She's talking, laughing, engaging with everyone around her. But look down just for a moment. Her feet, even if crossed or angled slightly, are pointed at you. It's not an accident. Our brains direct our feet toward the things we care about most. It's primal, an instinct we can't shut off. And here's the kicker. Even if she's speaking to someone else, her feet will betray where her focus really is. Combine this with other signals, a smile, eye contact, or leaning closer, and you're not just in the room, you're the center of her attention. If you enjoyed decoding these signals, give this video a like, drop a comment on which move surprised you most, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss what's next. Speaking of next, check out our next video for even more insider insights. See you there.